very complicated situation. It shouldn't be, quite frankly. Any provider who's delivering a service should do it properly, and due diligence should have been done in respect to this when they were taken over from the other provider. Now, Capita, my understanding of the situation is that it's because they couldn't get the data transferred over. Now, there should be an inquiry into this, simply because, was it sabotaged by the outgoing people? Was the due diligence done properly? But the problem being, you can put all that to one side. They need solutions for not just our members, but those in the whole civil service that are suffering as a result. A backlog of 90,000 people. People are retiring and they're not getting the lump sums or the pensions on time. That's that is ludicrous, and it's not acceptable. So I would urge parliamentarians and government to get a grip of this. And, you know, the Labour government did pledge about insourcing. This is one area that should be insourced. People can't live on fresh air. The reality is some people are maxing out their credit cards just to survive. People have been waiting 6, 7, 8 months just for the lump sums, let alone the pension payments. That is just an unprofessional to treat hard-working public servants, prison officers who have given a dedicated life to the service to be treated like this. And it's almost as if no one seems to care. They need to really look at the hardship cases. Payments need to be made ASAP. But the reality is they've got to get rid of this backlog. And we want to understand why due diligence wasn't done, why there was no dummy runs done, because to win a bid, they had to have an all singing, all dancing IT system that should have been tested and checked. Is this again a failure in the procurement system? It must be much easier, rather than relying on failing companies, to say to them, we're now going to fine you, but we're also taking the contract off you and it's coming inside. Now, of course, that again would probably create delays, but the reality is there must be a way through this, and we will be talking to people behind the scenes in Cabinet Office to get this rectified. Those discussions have been ongoing, and it's not just our union involved, there's all the civil service unions, and we're always frustrated as each other. But the employers need to step up as well and make emergency payments. HMRC need to be wholly involved in this as well, about taxation and different things. It's an intolerable position, and I feel sorry for our members, but I don't just feel sorry, I feel angry they've been put in this position. When this hits the media and different things, I think people will be aghast. It wouldn't happen in any other job, would it? But the reality is, in the civil service, you expect them to get it right for the employees that are retiring or those gone out on a medical inefficiency to actually get their payments done on time. It's an absolute outrage.
The only way to describe it is a civil service pension crisis. The POA meeting regularly, run it 2 or 3 times a week with Cabinet Office, trying to find solutions along with other trade unions. We meet as part of the NTUC, which is a joint trade unions group. We're applying pressure, but the more pressure that we apply, the more the revelations appear. When Capita took the contract, there was an estimate of a casework backlog of around 25,000 cases. It's now been discovered or declared that that's closer to 87,000, 90,000. As you can imagine, trying to do business as usual and deliver for the members on a daily basis with that amount of casework is causing considerable pressure. The POA will be meeting again tomorrow with Cabinet Office and trying to find a solution and trying to find a way forward and a way to prioritise how members get paid. We've got people who are affected by bereavement, people who are affected by ill health retirement, people who are affected by business as usual retirement, they're retiring and the lump sums are not being paid, the pensions are not being paid. I'm in the queue. I've been waiting for my pension now for since November. I applied for my pension. That still hasn't come through. we are working, we are attending the meetings, we're looking for ways to escalate people's cases, but as you can imagine, with a 90,000 casework backlog, as we escalate cases, it is a worry that we're simply adding to that casework backlog. We were promised considerable improvements by Cabinet Office, and we saw demonstrations of computer systems that Capita intended to put in place. The facilities, if they'd been delivered as promised, would have been a huge improvement over what we had. But at present, the Capita, they know my name, they know my address, they don't know who I used to work for, they don't know how many years I worked for them, they don't know what my pension bill pays, they don't know that I'd paid into an added year's contract, and we're finding that replicated across numerous members. So if I can ask members, please bear with us, because our case workload is ramping up massively. What they can do to help is write to their MPs and ask their MPs to put pressure on Cabinet Office.